You guys wanted more of this stuff. There's our Garrick. We've seen some of this before. Hey, it's Kevin. It's another episode of Gone Roger. Behind the scenes at Gone Rogue Games. There's Zach washing his hands. There's our fire extinguisher with our wall of fires. Hey, if you guys want to be on the wall of fire, then just send me a wall of fire sign and we'll throw it on our wall of fire. There is mine, my nice little, it's what an art degree gets you. Well, I didn't quite finish my art degree. I should be 100% honest. I dropped out. So anyway, I'll have to tell the story about why I dropped out of art someday. It was pretty funny. Long story short, I was, my 20s were constant partying when I came back from, well, where's the story with that? So I grew up in a very religious home, and then I left my religion and had no direction in my life. So when you grow up with extremely rigid morals and you leave those morals, sometimes the pendulum swings the other way. And my first attempt at college was a drunken haze. So I remember going really like forgetting about an art project, and it was due. And it was just like something we had like 4 weeks to do. Like it was a long art project. And I woke up that morning and just threw together I can't remember what the medium was for the art project, but it was like we had to use an art form, so it wasn't like pen or paint. It was, you had to use some mediums that were actually textured, so it was like sand or rocks or like confetti, that type of stuff. And so I threw together this really terrible art project and went into the critique is what they call it in a lot of where your peers and your teacher will critique your work and you're supposed to explain it. And so I went in there with my crappy art project and said, in the most like hipster way possible, I was like, oh, I did the chaos on purpose. It looks chaotic because I wanted to really encapsulate the feeling of being in chaos, and like this was just thrown together haphazardly. And they totally bought it. And I got good reviews on it, and this one girl even piped up, I can see that. I can just see the depression and the anger, the emotion that went into this art project. And I just my mouth just kind of dropped and said, yeah, I'm done with this crap. I'm done with the whole art culture. And I quit. And I think I dropped out. I think I dropped out because graphic arts jobs were going for, they're a dime a dozen at the time. Everyone seemed to be getting into like graphic art design. And we had this, basically a person come in, one of the programs I was in was supposed to like land you a job or an internship right after. And they basically told us what the starting wages was, how long you'd be in internships, and like, what the hell? I'm making more right now being a courier than I would be in any sort of graphic arts industry. And so I got frustrated and dropped out. So that was I was sick of the art culture, and also sick of, well, just the whole field was just too, that's what I'm looking for. There's way too many people entering the field of graphic design at that moment. So yeah, there's a little bit of backstory about how I dropped out of art. And now I can't even draw a stick figure. Speaking of art, though, look at that almond cat. Is that that's all we get, Zach? Is just this?
More of them in here.
Oh, Zach hasn't put them together yet, so.
Are they put together?
I guess they're put together. I don't know if you can hear him. There's still our Avicen and our Gumball. So we're starting to look like a game store here. There's our other hall leading down to the main street. We've seen these before. And got a nice little sign. I mean, we really want to move into a bigger place, but we get a screaming deal for this right now. And when capital is a big issue and overhead is a big issue, like I've explained in other videos, keeping your overhead very, very low is the right route to go. So what have we got in today? What's some topics, Zach? What are those? Modern Masters?
Yeah, those are Modern Masters.
And Mind versus Might?
They're up here.
Oh, we got Mind versus Might. Mind versus Might. Horrible value. What are these?
These are
these blocks? These are what they're going to do for blocks for?
You're supposed to. Those are for the pre-release, I think. I can't remember. I gotta go through all of it and double check. I think for the pre-release, once you do a trial, they're supposed to symbolize the -1 counters.
Oh.
Maybe something else because it's got nickel bolus up top and no number 4.
I know we need bricks that get up to 3. So
those will be the rip outs. These
but this go 1, 2, 3 for bricks, and then whatever the nickel bolus symbol is.
I don't know.
I don't know
either. It's supposed to be for counters. We got the standard alternative art. I don't know why they just didn't do full art, but whatever. They're alternative art.
Alternative arts for the ones you want to definitely keep a hold of are those ones. Put those down.
What down?
The Smoldering Marshes and the Cinderglades. Those are the ones that I expect to hold value long term, just because they are mountains.
Whatever,
so Scape Shift. No. Scape Shift wants them because they're inferior to fetch to Shocklands. So in Modern, you don't really even need that many Shocklands. So we need to get a better camera. Speaking of this, everyone wants to see a lot more content here at the store. We just got better internet, so we'll do a speed test now to show you that we can probably do live streams from the internet or from our store now. That was what's holding us back, but I think we need some decent equipment. So if you want to support, the best way to do so is just buy from our online store, because we make good margins on that. All of it goes towards getting things for the store and upgrading the store, and we can be your local online store. Whatever you want to call it. But
playmats, the game day promos and everything.
My whole goal for this is just, I'm trying to keep this camera steady. I know everyone was like, whoa, see, I can't even do that. How do people do that? Maybe just using a cell phone is terrible to try to keep it steady. But I mean, we have some big plans for the store. Again, we want to move into someplace bigger, but this is as far as live streaming is concerned. I wish Spot was here. I was going to introduce you to Spot. Well, you saw him in the last video. Hopefully he'll start helping out with a lot of the techy stuff. So, speaking of art, I don't know how I was suckered into this game, this Malifaux game. So, of course, I had to choose the Brewmaster, because his name was the Brewmaster. Ta-da! And there's my, again, this is what an art degree will get you. Focus there. I was trying to focus on something else. So, anyway, little goblins made him look like Ninja Turtles. Because why not? So a little bit of update too, added these little shelves for Malifaux. It's taken off. We have some people trading a ton of cards, a ton of modern decks. One of our guys traded in like 3 modern decks to get into Malifaux. So that's going to kill our modern scene here. I don't think I care too much about that, to be honest. So I'll play modern. I don't want to be like one of my biggest bitches about Magic players is I just want to play Magic. So whatever format is going down, whether it be Frontier, whether it be Pauper, whether it be Commander, whether it be Singleton, whether it be Sealed, whether it be Limited, or Draft, whatever the hell people want to play, I will play it, because Magic that's the whole experience of Magic. At my store, my dear God, we have people that refuse to play any format but their pet format. And so we'll have people that will specifically only come in for Standard, specifically only come in for Modern, and cry bloody murder when we don't schedule one of their specific ones. But so, anyway, I'll play Modern. I just don't enjoy it. But I wish people would be just more open to whatever's going on. Just play it. It's Magic, for God's sake. There's Liliana. There's Gideon.
You like him right
Man, Gideon's ethnicity changes every set. Now what is he? He's like a...
He's Italian.
I guess you could sort of say Italian. There's blue eyes there, though. That's like, I don't know.
Is it blue eyes?
Oh, yeah, there's blue eyes on him now. Speaking of storyline for Magic, holy cow. Have you guys seen the new storyline for Amonkhet? Man, I thought Aether Revolt was terrible. If you really want to go read some bad writing, go read the latest Amonkhet at Wizards. I love the game. That's one thing with Magic. Absolutely love the mechanics of Magic. After playing even this Malifaux game, Magic is so much better, in my opinion, just for a gaming experience. I have a hard time finding a game that's been as good as Magic, but the storyline is so bad. And each set it gets even worse and worse and worse. And I didn't think they could top Amonkhet or Aether Revolt with how bad the storyline was with Aether Revolt. But... Amonkhet's pretty terrible, and we figured it out. They are marketing towards tweens. That is exactly their goal. Because if you read the Amonkhet storyline, it is just so tweeny. Like that's the market that they're trying to make it appeal to. So any sort of like, and when I say adult content, I don't mean like adult content. I mean, like more edgier content, just more like for adults, just like a better plot, like a more in-depth plot and storyline, and like real characters with real issues. No, these are all tween things. It reminds me of, what's that stupid video that kind of went a couple of years back called, what is it called, like the 100? Was it like the 100 where they go to Earth and they send down those kids from Earth? But it's like put in a setting of like teen issues. So they have like teen issues when they come to Earth to try to resettle it. It seems to me that that's the way that Magic is going. Magic is going into this like, let's market towards these tweens. And I thought about it, it's because a lot of this, like their latest, how Wizards wants to portray itself, you know, where they're really becoming what I consider into the social realm of it's almost the infestation of social justice warriors in the Wizards their whole entire company, is those people aren't very mature. If you've ever met one of them, when they cry bloody murder about jokes and try to get people kicked out of their jobs and things like that because they don't agree with a harmless joke, that is like tween mentality. That's like the playground mentality. And Wizards is literally marketing towards just people that are very immature. That's what I've just come to the conclusion. And maybe that's a little bit of just the gaming culture in general. I've never been able to identify with the vast majority of the gaming culture. I realized that when I remember everyone was talking how good Firefly was, the video series Firefly, and I just thought just how corny. I mean, that's the best way to describe that show. Just how it really just seems to me like, oh, what would happen if we put a science fiction or a sci-fi with a Western and put in all the tropes possible and just all the cliches possible. Let's put that, and just how everyone just laps that up and like it's the greatest thing ever. And it's just, I just can't identify with them nerd culture. And I just realized that Wizards has just gone all in on that aspect. When I got into Magic, it was more of like the hardcore fantasy. And we're talking about like Raymond Feast type fantasy, or Lord of the Rings. Like that's Magic, the good old Magic, the Crawworms. That was when I got into it, and it's really shifted it's over to more of like a tween type mentality. Like it's sad, but as long as the game still is fun to play, which of course is how I feel about the game. It's got great mechanics. It's literally, it could be all ones and zeros and not have any sort of art, and I'd still probably be okay with it. With what I mean by that is if it just still had the mechanics and the gameplay was still how it is, I would still love the game. So yeah, I'm not going to worry too much. Another thing with me is I hated Star Wars Episode 7, and so a lot of the Star Wars Destiny, people want to get into Star Wars Destiny, and I have this like resistance of getting into it just because I can't stand how the direction of Star Wars has gone either. But if it's a good game, I will play it regardless. I'm not going to get into a game because of the story behind it or the franchise behind it. If it's a fun game, I will play it. So anyway, there is our Amonkhet pre-release sign. So here's the big plan. Ooh, this is light in here. For the dungeon, see, you can see the acoustics in here is awful. Like, this is where I want to do live streaming, but we're going to have to get a lot of equipment. Lighting. Better lighting in here than these cheapo lights. And B, we'll need to get the acoustics figured out. So that's what I'm bringing on spot to try to research this stuff. And then if it's actually feasible, we're going to turn this into like a little studio where we can actually live stream and do stuff. I know I've said that in the past and failed to do so, but I do have some lofty goals for this summer. I don't really have a lot of commitments that I've had in the past 2, 3, 4 years that I've had before, and I have a lot more time to focus on the YouTube channel. So hopefully this will be our room where we can start showcasing. I know that Zach wants to start like just a more generic gaming channel. With like Malifaux and Pokemon and other things that everyone is interested in. Again, I apologize for the crappy quality. Like, this is one thing. I'm using my cell phone, which doesn't have the greatest video recording capabilities. So, in the future, if you like these type of things, this is a good way to get us to that point, is to support by like buying a playmat or just buying cards from us. I'm not going to be one of those people that's just going to beg for money and say, hey, this, and that through other sources. I really do believe you should get something. So, I mean, how you vote with your dollar is spending money with things that are doing projects or content that you enjoy. So if you do enjoy this, just check out our online store when we get it up and running. We'll be selling singles shortly. It's going to be a pain in the ass trying to get the inventory done. Speaking of cards, though, that we need to send off, would you please send me your address if you're a Patreon? I need to send you these cards, and only 2 people have sent me their address. So those are shipped off, but the other ones, we still need to ship them off. Send me your address. I'll contact you personally, though. So anyway, what was I talking about? Yeah, so singles, though, we just have to do a lot of inventory and things like that before we get them up and running. So we'll probably need to make some other investments. So we do have an editing computer here that Zach uses. We're going to try to get one for Spot, and that way we can streamline a lot of like video production into editing into online very quickly. Now this whole process now with the faster internet is going to be a lot quicker, so I don't have to go home to upload things, because I think we're getting what, like 0.5 upload with our last internet, which is just god awful. I think it took us, what was that, 15-minute video one time, is 4 hours later, and our computer had gone to sleep. And so therefore the video didn't upload because the computer had gone to sleep in the time to upload a crappy 15-minute video. Holy rambly video! Anyway, anything else you'd like to see in these kind of these Gone Roger episodes? I just like to, you know, involve everyone of what it's like to open a store, what it's like just to run a store. And I know that we're kind of like a more non-serious operation, as Zach and I have no business being in the business world, but we like it, we enjoy it, and yeah. Still have some Modern Masters up for 200. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get any more. They are currently out of stock. We can still get them from distributors, but they want like obscene $165. Two a week. 2 a week from some of our distributors. They want like $165, which is, to me, is just obscene from getting it direct from Wizards. So I talked about in one of my videos why margins are so important. So if I were to buy a booster box for $165 from a distributor and try to compete with my other products, I would have to put it at like $300. So that's just not feasible. So anyway, Pokemon is kind of dying off. What else? Here, Hearthstone is dying off. A lot of pros are quitting the Hearthstone trend. See our messy. We need to clean our mess. Our messy back studio.
I'm getting
Zach's
there.
art studio again. Jeez.
What
else are we talk about? His dragon's almost done. Where's your dragon?
It's right there.
Except now he's distracted with painting Malifaux all day long.
Like 30 people want painted minis, so I can.
Malifaux is confusing as hell, by the way. I'm sure I'll get to it. I was watching some videos how to play it last night, and man, I don't know if I had the patience for it. But yeah, that's that. Again, any suggestions for the Gone Roger episodes? What do you want to talk about? I will just, basically, yeah. Anything you want? Ooh, wow. Are these the ones you got? These are the stuff you got. The foil?
Yeah.
Those are pretty.
There's a bunch of them that have damages on the sides and other things.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what can you do? I mean, look how bad that is.
Oh, wow. Yeah, there's like teeth marks in that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see it on the camera. It's not showing up on the camera, but yeah, this one's way damaged, punctured everywhere. Apparently, Wizards going to send us some more to replace them. This is for a league, so I guess you get this, right, for participating in a league. Did they ever send off the tokens we were supposed to get for last league?
We just got them.
Finally, like 3 months later, we have Gremlins. Oh, they flip over, don't they? Energy and Gremlin tokens. All right, sweet. Not bad, not bad. Who traded in a Noth? Someone traded in a Noth? Love this card. This will be an upcoming Commander deck tech. Speaking of which, I've got a Commander deck tech coming up, and everything. April is gonna be the month that I try to really push out content. So, yeah, be looking forward to April. Having some huge collaborations with Gathering Magic, cross promoting both channels that are up and coming. And we really are going to hit this hard for the website and other stuff. So just be looking forward to that. I've rambled for almost 20 minutes. Man, I cannot shut up. Someone needs to buy me a muzzle. So anyone at Hot Topic want to buy me a muzzle and send it to me? I don't think that's the type of muzzle I need, though, right? It's Hot Topic. I don't know. That's the only thing that came to. I'm out of the culture. I don't know what I'm talking about with anything. I shop at Ross.
The video's almost uploaded.
For what?
For my video. 63%. I just started it. That's amazing.
So anyway, by the way, we're gonna be as transparent as possible for all the stuff we spend money on. So if you do donate to the Patreon or the channel or do buy goods from us, I'm gonna try to be as transparent as possible where that money's spent. Again, we need like lighting and better video equipment and things like that. And so I want to involve everyone as much as possible. You guys have been amazing in the past. This laptop was literally donated by a fan. Well, I traded cards for it. This PC over here was, well, besides the mouse and keyboard, this PC here was built by a fan and just donated to us to help us get going. And all those are greatly appreciated. You guys have been awesome for that. Everyone says they have the best fans, but the Gone Rogue, or the Rogue Deckbuilder / Gone Rogue Games fans have been just amazing. So appreciate it. So huge shout out to you. Again, we're going to be trying to give it back. Speaking of which, as soon as I get some cards, we'll be doing the drawing for the Rogue memorabilia, which I'm actually going to have an entire video around that, so be looking forward to that. This has been Kevin and Zach with RogueDeckbuilder.com and Gone Rogue Games in Richfield, Utah. Thanks for watching.